right, so I know you guys have been asked this to death, and you've talked about it to death, about the Letterman thing. My favorite thing about that was when you went back on to play, and he introduced you, and you looked over and you said, "Thanks, Dave." And I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that, which I thought was, it just speaks volumes to me of how comfortable you guys are in your own skin, just as a unit and you as a frontman.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say something the first time, but I didn't know if I could. I also wanted to, we had something to say. There was a lot of unrest going on in our city of Baltimore, and it felt wrong not to say something there. So I wanted to thank him before we stole his stage for a second to speak on that, because there are a lot of people hurting in Baltimore, and we wanted them to know that we were with them there.
For the three of you, Baltimore, I mean, Baltimore is the backdrop for one of my favorite shows in the entire world, The Wire. I've been to Baltimore before. I've played Baltimore before in a band. Do you find that Baltimore is true to how it's depicted in the show? Or at one point was it?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a fairly realistic portrait of an aspect of Baltimore, for sure. But there's also there's a really vibrant, art and music community. It's very tight knit, and a really great network of underground shows, and we were first introduced to it through warehouse parties, but there's a bunch of great venues in town, and there's not really that spirit of competitiveness that a lot of scenes tend to have.
Well, from what I hear, most people are telling me the vibe in Baltimore is very similar to what the vibe's like in Detroit now. People are just trying to stick together, get something going, and trying to kind of rebuild and just kind of save what's going on there, and to build it back up, and to make people realize that something can happen. It's not all the negative.
Yeah, and I think a lot of cities. There's, what's the name of that book? Rip It Up and Start Again.
Yep.
Which is about the kind of art and music scenes that came out of depressed cities, industrial cities, like the way Manchester was in the 80s, kind of a gloomy place. But that breeds a certain kind of creativity. It breeds people that want to speak on the struggle and speak out. And luckily, I feel like, people try to put the city on. We're transplants to Baltimore, but we rep it hard to let people know that, it's a great city, and there's a great thing happening.